Good morning to one and all. I am V. John Reddy, Assistant Professor in the Department of Physics from Nalla Narasimha Reddy Engineering College. Today we are going to discuss about the PN junction diode, the construction of the PN junction diode and working, energy level diagrams and VI characteristics of PN junction diode. Okay, already we know about the P type of semiconductors and N type of semiconductors. With the help of this P type and N type semiconductors, by contacting these two or by combining these two, we can get the PN junction diode. First, coming to this, when a layer of P type semiconductor is placed with a layer of N type semiconductor material in such a way that the atoms of P type combined with the atoms of N type across the surface of contact. Such a surface contact or junction where combination has occurred is known as PN junction. Okay. The combined P type and N type semiconductors with PN junction formation is known as PN junction diode or PN diode, or simply we can call PN diode. Next, formation of PN junction diode. A PN junction diode may be obtained in the following methods. Here, first one is grown junction type, and second method is fused or allied junction type, and third one is diffusion junction type. Okay, we can form the PN junction diode in three ways. One is grown junction type, fused junction type, and another one is diffusion type. The first one is grown junction type. When an eccentric semiconductor is grown from melt during the middle of the growth process, impurities of other kind are added to the melt so that the opposite type of crystal grows further. For example, in this one, say we are taking the P type of semiconductor, and this P type of semiconductor is we are melting. In the melting process, it's growing. In this growing process, we added some impurities, N type impurities added to this material. Due to this N type pentavalent elements, here the N type material is formed. One side is P type and other side is N type. These two are in contact, and it forms the PN junction diode. The next one is fused junction type. In this process, P type and N type materials are kept in contact and fused together by the proper heating treatment to form the PN junction diode. In the first one, in the grown junction, we are taking an eccentric semiconductor, either P type or N type. Suppose if you take the P type, we add the impurities pentavalent, and due to these impurities, when the crystal is growing, when we are melting the crystal that is grown, when it is in the growth process, and we are adding the impurities of N type. So N type material is PN junction is formed, and the other side is P type is formed. This is acts as a PN junction diode. The next, in the fused junction method, simply we are taking the P type material and N type material. These two are in contact, and we are heat the proper treatment. We are giving the proper heat treatment to this P type material and N type material. These two are form the PN junction diode. That is we are called the fused junction type. And third one is diffused junction type. This process involves either the gas diffusion method or solid diffusion method. Here we have in the diffusion method, we have the two methods, one is either in the gas diffusion or solid diffusion. In gas diffusion method, a wafer of N-type silicon is heated at about 1000 degrees centigrade in a gaseous atmosphere of high concentration boron atoms. At that temperature, due to concentration of gradient, the boron atoms diffuse in silicon, forming p-n junction. Okay, are you clear? This one we are taking the n-type silicon is heated up to 1000 degrees centigrade in the gaseous temperature, high concentration of boron atoms. At this temperature, due to the concentration gradient, the boron atoms is diffused into silicon. Already silicon, due to this one side is the p-type is formed and another side is n-type is formed. Okay. Next, in the solid diffusion process, a p-type impurity is painted on the n-type substrate and both are heated. Here we are taking one n-type substrate. On the top of the n-type substrate, we painted the p-type impurity. Okay, p-type impurity. Due to this combination is heated. Due to this heating, now the impurity atoms are diffused into n-type. The p impurities atoms are diffused into n-type substrate for a short time and form the p-n junction diode. This is the formation of p-n junction diode. We make the p-n junction diode in 3 different methods. One is diffused junction type, and another one is grown junction type, and another one is fused junction. Next, illustration of p-n junction diode. Okay. The charges in the circles represented impurity ions, and the holes and electrons are represented by plus and minus respectively. The atomic plane that joins p side and n side regions is called p-n junction. In p region, the electrons present in the upper energy levels of the valency band go to the acceptor energy levels. Hence, a large number of negative ions and the holes are formed. In n region, the electrons present in the donor energy level go to the conduction band, so that large number of positive ions and free electrons are formed. Here you observe that this is a p-type material and this is n-type material. These two are in contact. When these two are in contact, in these circles are immobile ions or fixed ions. On the top one is positives. This is a positive. Okay, and in this side, the circle ones is immobile charges, positive charges. Means these are electrons. This loses electron, that's why it gets the positive. These electrons and holes. These are free charge carriers are holes, and in this are free charge carriers are electrons. Now these two are combined at a point. These two, this plus and this minus, these two are recombined. This plus and this minus is recombined, and this here we are getting one neutral layer. One potential barrier is formed. This potential barrier is we are called the depletion layer. Okay, this potential barrier is we are called the depletion layer. These are the immobile charges, and next this positive ion, positive free hole, and this electron try to recombine, but there is a small barrier to recombine this electron and hole. Okay, the barrier is we are called the depletion region or depletion layer or potential barrier. Okay, to overcome this barrier, it required some external energy. Okay, that external energy, the way of connections given to this diode is we are called the biasing. Suppose p-type is connected to battery positive terminal and n-type is connected to battery negative terminal, we can call that is forward bias. The p-type is connected to battery negative terminal and n-type is connected to battery positive terminal, and that is we are called the reverse bias. Immediately after the formation of the junction, a large number of holes near the junction in the P region and a large number of free electrons near the junction N region are seen. Okay, here you are observed a huge number of holes in this positive P region, and this is electrons in the N region. Okay, due to thermal energy, these carriers may diffuse through the junction. These two are diffused through. Thus, the holes diffuse from the P side and N side, P side to N side, N side. Electrons diffuse from N side to P side. Okay, these electrons and holes are diffused, and this side immobile charges are fixed, and these all are neutral charges. This is where called the depletion layer. This is where called the unbiased p-n junction. The diffusion carriers find a large number of opposite charges, hence the electron hole recombination takes place. Due to recombination, a pair of opposite charges are lost soon after the formation of the p-n junction. Thus, the number of free charge carriers are continuously reduced to recombination, and the junction becomes devoid of the charges. What happened here? The first few electrons and holes are recombined, and next another few electrons and holes are try to recombine, and here is a barrier is formed. Due to this barrier, the number of charge carriers is reduced continuously. Due to the recombination process, the free charge carriers are reduced. Okay, these ions will form the barrier called potential barrier or junction barrier for the diffusion of the charge carriers. Is because now the positive ions on the N side repel holes to cross from P type to N type, and negative ions on P side repels electrons enter from N type to P type. At 300 kelvins, the potential barrier is about 0.3 volts for germanium, 0.7 volts for silicon. Forward bias p-n junction. If the positive terminal of the battery is connected to P type and negative terminal to the N side of the p-n junction diode, then the diode is said to be forward bias. The applied forward bias potential establishes an electric field which acts against the potential barrier field. Obviously, the resultant field is weakened and the barrier height is reduced at the p-n junction. Since the barrier height is very small, a small forward voltage is sufficient to completely eliminate the barrier. Obviously, at the some forward voltage, the potential barrier at the p-n junction can be eliminated altogether. Then the junction resistance will become almost zero, and a low resistance path is established for the entire circuit. Okay. Thus, a large current is generated in the circuit even for the small potential difference applied. Such a circuit is called forward biased circuit, and the current is called forward biased current. Reverse biased or open circuit p-n junction. If the positive terminal of the battery is connected to N type and negative terminal is connected to P type, then the p-n junction is said to be reverse biased. In this case, the applied voltage establishes an electric field in the same direction as that of the field due to barrier potential. As a result of this, the resultant field is strengthened and the barrier height is increased as shown in figure 11. It has been observed that the increased barrier potential prevents the flow of charge carriers across the junction. Here you observing that Here this is a p-type region is connected to battery negative terminal, n-type region is connected to battery positive terminal. Here the p-type majority charge carriers are holes. These holes are attracted by the negative terminal, and electrons are in this side. Electrons are attracted by the positive terminal. Okay, the electrons and holes are move away from the junction. These two are move away from the junction. Due to the away from the junction, the potential barrier size will be increased. Okay, and here due to the increasing of potential barrier, the current is decreases. The passing the current is very less, and a few minority charge carriers present in this n-type and few minority charge carriers present in p-type. These are due to this minority charge carriers, some current is produced. That current is we are called the leakage current or dark current. This is in reverse bias. So you observe the forward bias. Here p-type is connected to battery positive terminal, n-type is connected to negative terminal. Here there is a repulsion between the holes positive charges and battery negative positive terminal, and there is also repulsion electrons between electrons and negative terminal. Due to this repulsion for a small voltage also, all the electrons and holes both are moved towards the junction. The reverse bias, they are moved away from the junction. Okay, that's why here there's a barrier width is decreases, VB minus V, and this is the symbol of diode. And you observe here the holes and electrons move away from the charge, away from the potential barrier. That's why barrier VB plus V, external voltage and the barrier voltage, both are added. That's why the energy gap is increases. Next, coming to the VI characteristics of PN junction. Zero biased or unbiased circuit. When the junction is not connected to any voltage source, it is said to be unbiased. There is no flow of charge carriers, and hence there is no current flow through the junction due to the barrier potential across the junction. Okay, here we are not giving any connections to battery. There is no any external voltage source. Then there is no current passing through the junction. Means that is we call the zero current. Okay, that is we call the zero biased or unbiased. Forward biased current. When the positive terminal is connected, positive terminal of the battery is connected to P type, and negative terminal of the battery is connected to N type, is said to be forward bias. In the forward bias, what happened? For a small voltages increases, a large current is produced. In the reverse bias, when there is when the positive terminal is connected to N type and negative terminal is connected to P type, a slight reverse current flows in the circuit even for large increase in bias voltage. Okay, even if you are increasing the large voltages, the current is very less. There is a negligible current. Okay, even if you are applying the high voltages, the barrier will be broken. That is we are called the breakdown. Means the diode will be damaged. Okay, here you observe that this is in the forward bias. In the forward bias, up to certain voltage, there is no increment of the current, but after that one, by changing the small amount of voltage, a huge current is increased. Current value is rapidly increased. This voltage is we are called the knee voltage or operating voltage. This voltage is utilized for the break the potential barrier. Okay, next, in case of reverse bias, this is the reverse bias. Here we draw the VI characteristics. On the y-axis we are taking the current, on the x-axis voltage. Okay, in the reverse bias we are increasing the voltage. Current is slowly increases. For a particular voltage the current is suddenly increased. Reverse current is suddenly increased. This voltage is we are called the breakdown voltage. At this point the junction is breakdown. Okay, this is the VI characteristics of PN junction diode, and this is the energy band diagram of PN junction diode. Here we are taking the p-type region in this side, and this side is n-type region. This is the valency band of the p-type, and this is the valency band of the n-type, and this is the conduction band and of the p-type, and this is the conduction band of n-type. When these two are in contact, the energy levels are like this. Okay, there is some energy gap E0. This is the Fermi energy level. Okay, this is a half, exactly half. When we are increasing when we are applied the external voltages, E1 and E2 indicates the shifts the Fermi level from eccentric conditions, the P and N materials respectively. Then the total shift in the energy level E0 is given by E0 equals to E1 plus E2. E1 this equals to ECP minus ECN. ECP means P-type conduction band, and this is N-type conduction band. That equals to EVP minus EVN. This energy is the potential energy of the electrons at PN junction and is equals to EV0, where V0 is the contact potential, or volts, or contact difference potential, or the barrier potential. Next, coming to diode current equation. The diode current equation relating the voltage V and current I is given by I equals to I0 into e to the power of V by eta Vt minus 1, where I is the diode current, V is capital V is external voltage applied to the diode, eta is a constant and its constant value is 1 for germanium and 2 for silicon. Vt equals to Kt by E is voltage equivalent temperature, that is thermal voltage. This is about the PN junction diode and its construction or formation of the junction and working and biasing and characteristics of PN junction diode and diode current equation.